Who wants to be the voice? Not exactly a question where you would say yes, right? Because the voice right now is uh, compared to singing, and that's my background, of course. But by the end of this show, I'm going to show you why you should have said yes. Why it's important for you to find your voice, to be the voice, and how to get more traffic towards your website and towards your products in this particular way. Hi, my name is Ingrid, and this is Tea Time, the show about traffic, the lifeblood of any organization. Like I said, we're going to talk about the voice. Now, what on earth does that mean? So far, we've talked about things like the dream customer, things like where they hang out, the specific, in terms of Facebook, the specific groups that they hang out, that the leaders of those groups are the Dream 100 people. Those are very important people for you. How you can make yourself visible towards your Dream 100 by adding value, or how you can communicate with your dream customer, their audience, via paid traffic. We talked about the follow-up email sequences and the soap opera sequence that you need to do to move them up to your value ladder. But there is another way to bring more people, more traffic towards your website, and that is in collaboration with your Dream 100 person. It's called the reporter model. And how does that work? Your Dream 100 wants a person wants exposure, right? Like any other business, um, they want more leads towards them and more people to reach. So if you have a platform where you can invite them to, we talked about that earlier in one of the other episodes also briefly, but now we're going in deep. All right. So if you have a platform, you can invite your Dream 100 persons. So what kind of platforms do you need to think about? Well, in the past, platforms were things like talk shows, right? Talk shows are now called Facebook, basically. You had a platform called radio that's now called podcast. You had a platform called a sitcom that's now called YouTube. You had a platform called reality TV that's now called Instagram. You had a platform called newspapers, which is now called a blog. So those are all examples of modern platforms where you can build your audience and invite people in. But you need to remember that platforms like Facebook and Instagram and all those, and even websites, basically, there are other people's platforms, other people's tools, so to speak, tools under quotes. So what you need to do is, if you're doing a lot of Facebook lives, like I am, like this one, you need to bring the people who are watching this Facebook live, you need to bring them towards your own traffic list. On those platforms like Facebook, Instagram, etc. You're doing shows like Facebook Live, um, or a podcast series, or etc. But you are still on their platform. So it's the traffic that you're getting here is traffic that you earn by the hard work by making these type of shows. If that platform changes its algorithm, like YouTube or like Facebook or anything, then all of a sudden everything changes. You will get less people watching whatever you're trying to create here. So you need to bring those people towards your own traffic list. So not traffic that you earn needs to become traffic that you own. Remember the email list. So basically what it means is, at the end of everything that you do, videos or Facebook lives or etc., you need to send a message from, hey, if you want to know more, check out my website at www. And then your website name. And there you ask them for their email and their name and their email address. And then they're on your list. So that's the sequence that you need to go through. But right now, I'm going to focus on building the platform and how you can get traffic out of that. Okay? So, what traffic are you? What platform is best for you? That's a good thing to know. If you are a person that likes to read or write, then probably blogs, the former newspapers, is the best platform for you. Um, if you are a person that likes video, then maybe Facebook is for you, or maybe what's the other one? YouTube or Instagram is more for you. And if you're a person that likes to listen, maybe podcasts are more for you. And if you're not sure for which platform is the best for you, then think about what platform are you using the most at the moment. Where are you listening to? What are you? Are you read? Are you more a reader? Are you more a YouTube viewer? Uh-oh. My Facebook just collapsed. Okay, I'm going to continue on YouTube, and then I'll upload it to Facebook. No problem. So if you're not sure which platform is best for you, so think about what you are using the most. Oh, no connection. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm just going to continue. So once you have decided which platform you want to use, then start your show. You just need to start. And I know that's scary. I know it's uncomfortable, but you need to do it anyway. Uh, the beauty of it is, if you just start, no one will listen because no one knows that you're making these type of videos, right? So that also means that if you're making a mistake, who cares? No one's listening, right? No sweat. I call it a free rehearsal. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just start, because you need to find your voice. You need to find the rhythm which is best for you. A rhythm where at the end you're going to be comfortable talking, and you're going to be relaxed talking, not so nervous anymore. But it takes time to get there. So just start and do it, and do it with even the less viewers, the better. Don't check stats, by the way. Don't check how many people have seen this every episode, because that will drive you crazy and it will drive you depressed. So don't do that. So the beauty of this all is, if you just start, and once you're getting your rhythm, all of a sudden you're going to find that you have one listener. Yes, the first listener. And he's going to listen to several episodes that you're doing, and all of a sudden, one of the episodes is going to click with him, right? Because why would he otherwise listen to you? And then he's going to think, okay, this makes sense. What else does this person have? And he's going to binge watch, or binge read, or binge listen, or whatever you want to call it. He's going to start at number one, and he's going to view and watch and read everything. And then by the end, he's gone through everything. You have your value brought over to him, because the content, of course, needs to be all right, needs to be good. You have delivered the value. You are building trust with him, and now he's ready, saying, okay, I want to work with you. That's how this whole platform thing works for you, right? But we were talking about your Dream 100 person. Now, your Dream 100 person doesn't come just like that to any platform. So your shows needs to be, successful. Whether your Dream 100 is going to come in the beginning, or whether he's going to come later on, that doesn't really matter right now. I'm just going to give you 4 steps to make your shows successful. The shows that you are making, okay? On whatever platform, in whatever modality you choose for it. Number 1, publish daily, preferably for a year. Now, why? Of course, consistency means visibility. It also means you train yourself, right? Like I just said before, you need to find your voice. You need to find your rhythm in whatever you're doing. So it's important that you do that in a platform that's easy for you. If you are a listener, yeah, if you're more audio oriented, don't start writing. Don't start writing blogs if that's not with what your thing is, right? I am more auditory, so I'm more podcast wise. I don't like reading or writing at all. So whenever I need to read a book like this one, my inspiration book, as usual for this series about traffic, um, this book I read it, but I also listen at audio at the same time. So I can see it and I can hear it at the same time. That works best for me. But everyone is different. But choose the platform that works for you. Very important. Of course, the content needs to be great, right? Don't be just scraping something out of the internet. Make it your own story. Put in your own experiences also. Tell stories about it. We talked about hook story offer, right? Think about those things, and just start. Find that rhythm, grow your following, and then create an offer, and eventually bring that following towards the offer on your website, and then you can have some income. So that's the step number one. Step number two, the biggest thing about these kind of platforms and these kind of shows are, I don't know what to publish. I don't know what to say. Well, here's the solution. Document, don't create. Document, don't create. That is exactly what we are doing here. If you remember episode 1, if you don't remember, go watch it some other time. I said that. I said, listen, I have a Facebook group with 9 people. What the heck do I know about traffic, right? But I am determined to find out how this traffic works. And that's what we're doing. So I am reading this book. I'm reading this book, and step by step, the things that I'm learning, I'm sharing with you, right? That's documentation. That is documenting the journey, the process. I'm not claiming to be an expert at all. I'm not claiming to know everything. I'm not claiming the things that you should know, to do this or to do that. No, I'm explaining the process. I'm myself. I'm not claiming to be the expert. I'm me. I'm just me, showing myself just one step at a time. Because we probably have the same goal: getting traffic towards a website or towards whatever you want to. And how do you do that? And if I show what works and what not, during the process that I'm making towards that end goal, it helps you a lot more. Uh, Number one, to build a relationship with me, but also to see, okay, maybe I should avoid this because it didn't work for her. Maybe in the same situation, it wouldn't work for me. So I don't publish because I know everything. I publish because I'm obsessed about something. I'm obsessed about traffic. I want to know how this works because I see so many people failing on this. So this is kind of my obsession. I'm admitting it. I'm admitting it. So I have that big goal. I want to know how that works, that whole traffic thing. And maybe you have the same goal, right? So you can follow me on that path towards towards the same goal. So everything that I learn in between is something that I document, like these Facebook lives and these YouTube videos, uh, and that I'm then sharing with you, whatever I discover. All right. There's one more thing I want to say about this. There's no such thing as perfect content. Perfect content. Perfect never happens. Perfect will get you nowhere. I'm very guilty of that. I always wanted to be things, to be very well thought of, and strategies be behind a blog or anything like that. All again, that has to do with claiming or wanting to be seen as the expert, while In reality, I'm not yet. Okay? Document, don't create. Step number three for a successful show is test your material. Let's take an example. If you take a stand-up comedian, right? Do you really think that that person comes on stage and tells you out of the blue, just like that, um, one joke after another, and the whole audience is laughing all the time? No, it's a process. It's a very well thought process. What does a stand-up comedian do? I happen to know several of them. They write down a lot of jokes, they make up, and then they going to do a tryout. And then in that tryout, they are going to test whatever joke works with the audience or not, whatever the audience responds to, and whatever not. Um, then out of the 20 jokes, 15 didn't get any response, 5 did. So he keeps the 5, he got rid of the 15, starts writing again, new jokes, new set of 20, different place, different tryout, do it again. Out of the new 20, okay, he had the 5 olds, those still work. Hey, I got a new one that works also. Now he got 6. The other 14, and he starts again until he got his set of however many jokes he needs. That is the process of how an artist in terms of a stand-up comedian works. Um, the same is what you need to do with your audience and with you when you are bringing your shows like Facebook Lives or YouTube moves or anything. Some things people will respond to, some episodes people will not, which is fine. But throughout, that's why you need to be consistent and do it again and again and again and again and find your rhythm. And then you will find, the more you find your rhythm, the more constant you are, the more your message gets refined. Discard what doesn't work, bring in what does work, start again, refine your message. And that's how you, what's called find your voice, and that's also the moment that you found your voice is what brings in the Dream 100 person, because that was the goal. Remember, we wanted to bring the Dream 100 in person, collaborate with them so that you can grow your email list and bring traffic towards your website. So that's step number 3, test your material. Step number 4 is where the collaboration with your Dream 100 comes. You will find that in the episodes that you're making, first you need to start with, of course, your origin stories. Why are you doing this series? What can people expect? And if, again, look at episode number 1. I did just that. Remember also your big result, the thing that you are working on. Then think about, okay, you are now here. I have 9 people in my Facebook group, and I want to know everything about traffic towards my Facebook group. Just saying an example. Then you're going to think, okay, which Dream 100 person knows something about filling that gap? And those are the persons you're going to invite. So you're going to think of a several one. You make a list of all those Dream 100 people, and you're going to call them. It's scary. Remember, we talked about that, the 60-day process. Remember? At one point, when you are visible in their group and you added value and you build up a relationship with them already, that's the moment when you're going to ask them if you could perhaps interview them. For me, for example, I have a Facebook group called Ambitious Introverts in Business, right? Ooh, there's a very big bee coming in. Okay, sorry. I have a Facebook group called Ambitious Introverts in Business, and I want to know everything about traffic. Now, so I'm going to reach out for a Dream 100 person who is both introvert and knows a lot about traffic, and also has a big following, which is a little bit important, of course, because you need to do something at the end. I will explain that in a minute. And then you're going to invite them. Invite them. I have a podcast show, because remember, every Dream 100 person wants exposure on someone else's platform. So just invite them. What's the worst can happen? They can say no. Okay, well, big deal. Then you go to another Dream 100 person, right? So you make a list of those Dream 100 persons, where you are now, your big dream result, who can fill up, who can tell me more about the steps in between, who has a story about that to tell. And you're going to call them or write them an email or whatever. Because it doesn't matter how many times you get a no. The only thing that matters is the one who says yes. Because that's when the ball starts rolling. You're going to interview that particular person. And in that time, in an interview, you build a relationship, right, with that Dream 100 person, which is never wrong. And then you're going to offer that particular episode where your Dream 100 person is in, that you are going to promote that to their audience. Maybe they do it themselves by showing it to them, or maybe they do it via you, and then you can promote it, or via paid ads or any other way. You put the interview on your website, and you say, hey, listen, I got an interview with this and this person. If you want to see it, leave your name and email address, and you get directly access to it. And no charges. If you do that, you get the email address. You are growing your list towards your website. And remember, the follow-up messages, as soon as a new person comes in, you do the value emails and the soap opera emails, etc. The things we talked about last week. But then they're now on your list. It's traffic now that you own, and not the traffic that you earn, right? There's also one other thing that can happen, and that is with the one person who says yes, the one Dream 100 person that says yes, you can ask them, listen, do you know any other people who also have something to say about this subject? So that's called asking for a referral. Now, maybe they give 2 or 3 names. And now if you contact those 3 names, and you're going to say, hey, listen, I'm going to do a show about traffic, and this person is already coming, and they know that person. And he told me to, or he or she told me to go to you because you know also something about this subject. Would you like to come? And then that person is going to say, oh yeah, sure. Because now he's going to see their friends again, and now it's going to be one happy big family, right? So you ask those 3 persons, but you can also ask those 3 persons, and hey, do you know anyone else? Any more referrals? And now all of a sudden you get a bunch of people who you can ask something about, who you can invite towards your show. But there's one thing that you need to remember. This is where you are, 9 people in your Facebook group. This is your dream big result. Try to pick the people that they're not going to talk all about the same subject, but to talk about the different steps in between. If you build your summit right, because now it's called a summit. A Facebook Live is just 1 or 2 persons, basically 1 person talking. A Zoom could be 1 or 2 persons talking to an audience. A summit means that there is more than 1 or 2 persons talking to an audience. So now, all of a sudden, you got, let's say, 10 people talking about traffic, just taking this one as an example. If you build your summit the right way, and you don't let them talk about the same subject, but about topics that are subsequent, is that what's called? That are coming one after another, you can describe the entire path for the ones who are going to eventually listen or see the summit, right? So it's going to be immensely valuable if you do it that way. Big words this time. And then you can again promote it to their audiences. Now you got 10 people, where you can you only have one summit, right? One video or one podcast or one blog that you now can show to a lot more people, not just the Dream 100 person and their followers, but now you got 10 of them. So you can grow your email list even bigger. But then you need to build that summit, those topics from where you are to where you want to be. You need to build that up the right way. If you do that, your email list is going to explode. It really is. So let's put it all together, because that was a lot of information in just a short time. Let's put it together. What do you need to do? You need a platform, and you need to decide which type of show. Is that going to be something with you liking to read, or your audience likes to read, which means blogs, video, which means Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or audio, which means podcast. Okay, the second step was you need to document the process. Document, not create, right? Test your material, see what people are responding to, do it consistent, do it daily, find your voice, find your rhythm, find your ease with it. And your dream customer will find you, and your Dream 100 also. Then interview your Dream 100 on your show. Remember, it needs to be your summit, it needs to be your show, not theirs, okay? Because then they are collecting the email addresses, and you were the one who needed the traffic towards your website, so you need to organize it. Build a relationship, give your Dream 100 that platform, you organize the whole thing, promote it promote their episode, the episode where the Dream 100 person in is, promote it to their audience, and get access to their friends and followers. All right. And step number 4, then remember converting it from traffic that you own to traffic that you from traffic that you earn to traffic that you own. You need to get those email addresses via your website, on your email list. That was the goal. All right. Okay, that was a very big, very much type of information. Again, if you want more to read more about this all, there's a link below where you can order this book if you want that, and otherwise just send me a direct message and I will give you the link. And I hope it was valuable, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.